Hi, my name is Angel Cox, and I will be discussing the questions and the points that were required for us to address within this video. So professional counseling with Christian worldview. I feel like that's the specific like counseling structure that I believe like I more so relate to, just because I am a Christian. And then also I do believe that there is an aspect of professionalism that you do have to have within counseling, but I don't want to ever impose my Christian views on my clients. I would like for them to be able to have the freedom to be able to discover what religion they would like to relate to, or even to tell me what religion they relate to, so that way I can be sensitive to their needs. I don't want to ever allow them to feel like I'm imposing my beliefs on them. So I want to be able to approach them with the worldview of seeing them through the eyes of Christ, which is what I believe in. But I also want to give them the freedom of implementing their Christian or implementing their Buddhist or Hindu values in the counseling session if they feel comfortable doing so. Professional counseling, by definition, is specific provision of guidance, direction, advice concerning personal, psychological, spiritual, behavioral, or other problems or concerns related to life and living. Christian worldview. It's the lens one views the world, a process, synthesis, analysis, and explains how the worldview affects the Christian faith. And it's also described to be how God views the matter. What does God think? So it's basically describing how God views the world, and even just specifically our sessions with our clients. How is he viewing that client? How does he view that situation the client's dealing with? And how does he require me as a professional counselor who's seeing through a Christian worldview? How does he require me to interact with them? And how does he require me to view them as well? And it says, I also wrote down that God is not a part of me I keep hidden. I choose to see things through the lens of his eyes, so that way I can see how to help his people whom he created. I do not want to impose my view on someone else. Although my worldview is from a Christian perspective, I don't want to impose my faith. I also wrote that being able to integrate different techniques is helpful. However, knowing what approach is imperative. Because there's so many approaches that we can use within the counseling setting, but knowing exactly the right approach with that specific client is imperative, because not every person is the same. God created us all differently. And so there's always going to be a different approach that we can use to help our clients. The challenge is if my client is not actively participating. And so because there are so many different ways you can approach this, if your client's not actively participating in the session, it's going to hinder you from progress and hinder them from progress. My client may not be open to multiple approaches, which will be a challenge as well. The ACA Code of Ethics that will be related to this is not imposing my views on my client. I can implement seeing my client in their situation through the lens of Christ. However, not imposing them to look through the lens of Christianity as I am is imperative, because then like I said before, professionalism is important. And if I'm imposing my faith on my client, then that's unprofessional and it's not allowed per the ACA Code of Ethics. So I hope you enjoyed my video.